All praise to Yahweh, Bashem Shai, Bashem Hakadesh, Divine Apostle Elder Bateman Soul, that taught me this 100% truth of well. Say teach to be I came out there pushing the truth of all sincerity, which they like to do so. Say teach to the hopeful elect that are scattered among the four corners of the earth that believe in the truth, Yahweh, Bashem Shai. Shalom. Before I start this lesson, I just want to make a quick correction on the video that I did yesterday. I think we were dealing with Jemariah 51 and dealing with the Medes. We know that the Persian Medes today are the modern day Iranians, but I believe I mistakenly said that they were the Russians, but we know um, you know the Russians, dealing with Ezekiel 38, Gog and Magog or whatnot, and the Persian Medes, the modern day Iranians, and Gomer, Turkey, Slovakia. Um, so yeah, quick correction on that. But yeah, Russia will lead the point. Um, and bringing nuclear destruction unto the Babylon the Great. All the these countries, the Lord is going to stir up and to be against Babylon the Great. You know what I'm saying? And send nuclear destruction here. You know, these countries, they're gonna even some of the this Babylon's allies are gonna turn against them and become his adversaries, and they're gonna go to war with this devil because that's been prophesied by Yahweh Shemar Shai. But yeah, you know, Russia will, be involved, and also Iran. The Lord is going to stir them up, and they're going to, commence war against so-called America, Babylon the Great, or whatnot. So that, quick correction on that, Slakia. But yeah, um, let me get into this article I got here, dealing with, switch from the gold standard, you know, showing you how this devil operates. When he's done with one thing, he moves on to the next, and that's what's going to happen. When he's done with this physical currency, just like he did with the gold standard. You know what I'm saying? Dropping it, going to the Petro dollar, and then now he's going to drop this and switch to the digital currency, which is going to bring him usher in this MOTB mark of the beast. That's why you see Trump in his cabinet. He got you know two key forerunners for promoting or pushing the MOTB mark of the beast is Dr. Oz and the dude, the Tesla guy. Uh, I can't remember his name right now. Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? Call Yahweh Shema Shai, Bashem Hakadash. Thank you, Lord. Father Yahweh, for bringing that to my remembrance. But yeah, Elon Musk, um, you know, and Dr. Oz is part of Trump's cabinet. They're gonna help, usher in the MOTV mark of the beast. The RFID microchip. You know, but let me read this article. This is on April 20th, 1933. The United States went off the gold standard, a monetary system in which currency is backed by gold, when Congress enacted a joint resolution nullifying the right creditors to demand payment in gold. The United States had been on a gold standard since 1879, except for an embargo on gold exports during World War One, put bank failures during the Great Depression of the 1930s, frightened the public into hoarding gold, making the policy untenable. Yeah. So, as those that may know about the stock market crash of the 1930s or 1929 or whatnot, um, you know, uh, there was a period of time in America they had what they call the Roaring Twenties during the 1920s when everything was on the up. You know what I'm saying? And the country was thriving. You know, the Industrial Revolution. You know what I'm saying? They was um, uh, banking big. You know what I'm saying? Banks were benefiting. You know what I'm saying? The people were making money. The economy was booming and whatnot. So, during that time, this devil, you know what I'm saying, to for the elites to increase their wealth, they pretty much, you know, um, inflated the stock market. You know what I'm saying? Since everybody was, on the up and up, and it was working, and the country was benefiting, they inflated the stock market prices, and people, invested in stock. You know what I'm saying? And some of the stock that they had was they were overpricing because they were doing so well. So they was like, the people can afford it. Let's just go ahead and hike up the price. So then they invest and whatnot. But then when shit started to slow down, jobs started to slow. Industry started to slow down a little bit. Economy wasn't like it was. You know what I'm saying? People started losing jobs, but the stock was still high. People was like, you know, oh shit, like, uh, we're gonna sell our stock, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So they started billing on their stock, which just get money because they were they wasn't making any money, the money that they used to. They was just trying to not take too much of a loss, and trying to get out the situation that they were in financially. And when they started selling all their stock pretty much all at once, it caused the market to crash. You know what I'm saying? And that's when the whole the Black Tuesday, Black Thursday, Black Tuesdays shit happened. These devils started offing themselves, jumping off buildings, burning shit up. You know what I'm saying? Because they were suffering. You know what I'm saying? And these devils, they don't know how to suffer. So, because this shit was built for them. So then this nigga Roosevelt, whatnot, they started putting certain standards in order to stop motherfuckers from you know pretty much criminalizing, which they still do. You know what I'm saying? Because what they did was criminal. You know what I'm saying? Inflating the stock, and that's white. That's what they call white collar crime or whatnot, and that's what this country thrives off. You know what I'm saying? The biggest gangsters are the people that's in the white collar crime. You know what I'm saying? Those are the people that are actually making all the money. But anyway, they was being criminal, so these he started putting shit in place so that they couldn't do that type of shit no more. I mean, but they still do. Um, but if they get caught now, they go to jail type shit. But uh, at the time there were no guidelines in place for that, so they got away with what they did. And they put since people were losing jobs or whatnot, and during that time, the industry was slow, and people started laying off because they wasn't making the money that they were. Unemployment was at an all-time high and whatnot. And so with that, I think it was 1935, they put in place the Social Security Act or whatnot, so that would help, if they lost their job, they still got some type of pay or whatnot. Um, but at the same time, Jake, you know what I'm saying, it didn't benefit Jake because, for so-called African Americans, which are you Negroes, you Israelites, you know what I'm saying, it wasn't beneficial because they didn't really have to pay you out. You know what I'm saying? You had a job, whatever, you lost your job, and doing this new act that they put in play with it, the Social Security Act of 1935, they didn't have to pay you because you was a nigga. You know what I'm saying? They was like, all right, fuck you. This ain't for you, really. This for our people. This ain't really for you. We don't give a fuck. We don't gotta pay you shit. Who you gonna go over and tell? You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, then they still had the upper hand, which they still do now. But the Lord, as lighten our sentence, yeah, and whatnot. We're knowing more than hardcore bondage and hardcore slavery, like we were. And this ain't the times like we had to suffer through civil rights and all that, whatever. I mean, because the Lord is, lightening our sentence because He's getting ready, to rescue us because we're at the end of this devil's rule. But at that time they ain't have to, just like now they still don't totally respect Jake, because you gotta understand, Jake gotta understand that this devil is your enemy, and he's not here for you to thrive in his society. He built these things this country and these rules to be against you. You know what I'm saying? Because most of what he put in place while you were his property. You know, Jake pretty much stole 3/5 of a man on paper. You know what I'm saying? They don't stress that to you, but you pretty much are. That's why they can get away with murder. You know, when they put you to death, when these policemen do what the fuck they do, they really don't care. They ain't looking seeking for justice. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because the true purpose of the police force was created came through slave patrol, and when they put you to death, it's not their right because that's what they created it for anyway. But anyway, reading on. Soon after taking office in March 1933, President Roosevelt declared a nationwide bank moratorium in order to prevent a run on the banks by consumers lacking confidence on the economy. He also forbid banks to buy out gold or to export it. According to Keynesian economic theory, one of the best ways to fight off an economic downturn is to inflate the money supply and increase the amount of gold held by the Federal Reserve, would in turn increase its power to inflate the money supply. Facing similar pressures, Britain had dropped the gold standard in 1931, and Roosevelt had taken note. On April 5th, 1933, Roosevelt ordered all gold coins and gold certificates in denominations of more than 100 turned in for other money. Yeah, you see, so when the devil pretty much get done, he's gonna switch the system up on you. You know what I'm saying? When he's done with one system, he's gonna go to the next. What the people were during the Great Depression or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? You know, they say from 1929 to 1939, during these times, whatever the economy was trying, what actually got the United States back on track was World War II. You know what I'm saying? Because World War II, created production. You know what I'm saying? Recruit of military exports. You know what I'm saying? Creating military weapons and whatnot. Because war produces money, and that's what this devil does. And this devil go to war to steal resources from these countries. So war produces money, and that keeps the economy afloat. That's why this devil, he loves to go to war. And plus, that's in his nature because of the blessing of the sword. You know what I'm saying? So World War II is what pretty much helped them get back on track financially. But during this time in the 1930s, after that, the Black Tuesday, whatever, the market crash, people were starting to hold on to their money. You know what I'm saying? It was like, well, we fall on hard times. We need to hold this gold. So they wasn't spending as much as they would as before, during the Roaring Twenties when they was just out there, blowing money. They was like, all right, this shit happened. Now we can't be out there. We got to, be reasonable. You know what I'm saying? And this is, before the 1935 Unemployment Act or whatever, Social Security Act. Really, like people were hesitant, to spend money. That's what he said, 1933, because they were holding on to the gold now. They was holding on to just in case they fell on hard times. Like for those that had a little bit of money, it's like, yeah, fuck it, let's go to work. We're gonna save this money. We don't want to end up like before, so we're gonna hold on. So when you hold on to money circulation and the money not circulating, that fuck up the economy more. So he had to create a way for them to to be the white collar criminals that they were, and figure a way to get the money back flowing. So pretty much, this is what he came up with. You know what I'm saying? He told the people pretty much, yo, trade in your money, your gold, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna give you these notes pretty much. And require all persons to deliver all gold coins, gold bullion, and gold certificates owned by them to the Federal Reserve by May 1st for the set price of $20.67 per ounce. By May 10th, the government had taken in 300 million of gold coins. Yeah, see, so he told you like, yo, you give us this, and we're gonna give you this, and pretty much in order to have control and inflate the system. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much he's telling you this for your good, but pretty much it's for your detriment, so they can do what they got to do and be the criminals that they are, the wicked that they are. And taking in 300 million of gold coins and 470 million of gold certificates in early June, a joint resolution of Congress repealed the gold clauses in many public and private obligations that required the debtor to repay the creditor in gold dollars of the same weight and fineness as those borrowed. In 1934, the government price of gold was increased to $35 per ounce. And there he goes, inflating the price. Effective from 2067, you inflated, $15 more pretty much. Effective increase the gold of the Federal Reserve balance sheets by 69%. This double. This increase in assets allowed the Federal Reserve to further inflate the money supply, and that's, his diabolical plan. You know what I'm saying? He presents as a thing that's going to be beneficial to you, but really, there's another agenda behind, his purpose of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? And this is what he's going to do pretty much in these last days to collapse the modern money system. He's going to create inflation, and the value, the dollar value is already on the decline anyway, and it's going to get even worse. In his next resolution, just like he did then, we're going to get off the gold standard. We're going to give you this paper currency. You know what I'm saying? Then they went to the petrodollar, in the 70s. You know what I'm saying? Which we're currently on now, but he about to dead that too. And he's going to go to his digital system, which is going to turn into, the mark of the beast tracking system that he wants, to enslave you. Because we're pretty much, everybody in this system, you know what I'm saying, today, they're modern day slaves, you know what I'm saying? And there's different, tiers of the slave system, of course. You know what I'm saying? Then you got your gatekeepers and shit like that. Your Puffy Combs, your Jay-Z's and shit like that. But anyway, they all slaves to the system as well. They're just, a more elite slave, a little bit more status in society, but they still ain't shit to these, the elites, these devils, you know what I'm saying? They all puppets to them. Be knowing, what was that? It says the government held the $35 per ounce price until August 15th, 1971, when President Richard Nixon announced that the United States would no longer convert dollars to gold as a fixed value, thus completely abandoning the gold standard. In 1974, President Gerald Ford signed legislation to permit Americans again to own gold bullion. So yeah, that's you can see how the devil works. When he's done with one thing, he's gonna ready to move on to something else. He's just gonna get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he's gonna do with this system. But it's, it's another article here dealing with the petrodollar. It says, all right, what is the petrodollar? The term petrodollar emerged in the 1970s to describe the new economic relationship between the U.S. and OPEC, organized of petroleum exporting countries. It's like a petroleum organization of petroleum exporting countries, that their oil exports would be priced in solid exclusively for US dollars. That's like it would be priced and sold exclusively for US dollars, showing you that the US putting it in place so they could be in the power seat. They could control the money. But it's the bankers, Federal Reserve. You know what I'm saying? But showing you that Babylon the Great, they're in the control. Esau Edom, the so-called white man. This is his kingdom. That's why he's in the power seat. You'll sometimes see the definition like this: U.S. dollars paid in oil exporting country. That's technically correct, but ignores historical nuance Okay, we'll talk it. All right. So the birth of the petrodollar system. The origin of the petrodollar system is closely tied to the three events in the early 1970s: the end of the gold standard, the, the 1973 oil crisis, the formalization of the petrodollar agreement with okay, and the end of the Bertram Woods, Bet, Bet, Burton Woods, Bretton Woods system, 1971. The Bretton Woods agreement signed in 1944 established monetary management rules for the UK, US, France, Germany, and 40 other countries. Did two crucial things. Member 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 nations pegged their currencies to the US dollar. Guaranteed member nations could exchange dollars for gold at $35 per troy ounce. Essentially, this put everyone on the gold standard. For example, Canada, a member nation, did not didn't need its own central bank gold reserve because Canada had dollars, and dollars were convertible for gold. The U.S. had the gold too. At its peak, the U.S. held 65.1.4 million troy ounces, 20.2.6 metric tons, or 80% of the entire world's gold reserves. This devil, what a thief! But anyway, but the but the good times never last. Just 27 years later, President Nixon closed the gold window. He broke the promise that dollars would always be convertible for gold. You see, you can't trust this devil. The scripture says, "Trust not that enemy." Man, this devil can't be trusted. So he went away with the gold standard because it was no longer beneficial to him. He found another way to scoop in and get the dollars the American dollar to remain dominant by switching to the petrodollar. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much okey doke everybody, you know, so he can be on top. You know what I'm saying? But this is rank, this is kingdom. We know him as, but he's not to be trusted, as you can see. As you might imagine, this discussion left a lot of world leaders enraged. Yeah, and this is what the devil does. That's why a lot of his allies have become his enemies. You know what I'm saying? This devil out there putting sanctions on motherfucking countries, you know, uh, to show his might. But at the same time, these allied countries who he put these sanctions on against these other countries that that deal with certain people, it puts a strain on their society and their economy. But this devil, he don't give a fuck because it's not affecting him. He should say, "Do what the fuck I say," or else type shit. But anyway, they opted into the Bretton Woods system because they believed they could swap their dollars for gold if they needed to. Suddenly, the U.S. dollar had nothing. Yeah, they ain't had nothing back in it. They was just fuck it. We gonna switching it up. They had nothing back in it. Yeah, see, they had no backup, no solid foundation, and gold is from the earth. You know what I'm saying? It has value. You know, it's a thing of substance, and fiat currency has no backing. It has no value. There's no thing of substance. There has to be something back in your money system, just like a bartering system. You know, you can like they traded spices. You know what I'm saying? You traded slaves for spices. That's property. You know, if you're gonna I'll give you three goats, you give me a cow. You know what I'm saying? That's a thing of substance, a thing of value. You know what I'm saying? Because you can get production from both of those animals. But anyway, reading on. 1973 oil crisis. In response to U.S. support for Israel during the Yom Kippur War, OPEC stepped stopped selling oil to the U.S. and allied nations. The oil embargoes sent prices skyrocketing. Crude oil prices doubled, then quadrupled. This immediately after the dollar devaluation, a side effect of removing the dollar from the gold standard, created stagflation in the U.S. Nixon sent the Secretary of State Henry Kissinger to the Middle East. Kissinger helped negotiate a ceasefire between Israel and its adversaries, primarily um, Syria and Egypt, but 10 other nations, including Saudi Arabia, were involved. The OPEC finally lifted the oil embargo in March 1974. as a quote clear, the U.S. desperately needed two things: a friendly Arab nation in the Middle East and guaranteed source of oil. U.S. Saudi Arabia petrodollar agreement in 1973, Kissinger brokered a deal with the House of Saudi to exchange for advanced military equipment and training, along with the security guarantees. We'll go to war if anyone invades you. Saudi Arabia would use U.S. dollars exclusively for oil pricing and sales. Other OPEC countries followed suit by 1975, even though they didn't get the same deal as Saudi Arabia. Yeah, so they got a U.S. squeezed in, saw these issues, cut a deal so they can get oil at the low, and for all those buying oil, they got to use it, you know, use as U.S. dollars in order to buy the oil, which and strengthen the U.S. dollar. You know what I'm saying? But now this shit is on the way out. You know what I'm saying? The dollar's been failing. There ain't nothing backing it really. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know, that's why these other countries, they just want to switch up and go to a different standard of using of uh, purchasing oil or whatnot. And with that in play, that's gonna you know deflate the dollar even more. And with this dollar, he's ready to get rid of the dollar anyway. You know what I'm saying? Showing you that he went from one system to another gold standard, this fiat currency, whatnot, petrodollar, what you want to call it, Federal Reserve notes with no backing. But now, in the end, he really going to get rid of all that. Period. No more coins, no more dollars, no more hardcore physical currency. The end game is, the fourth industrial revolution, transhumanism, the already microchip market of the beast. That's what he's getting ready to, showing you so you can see how this devil operates when something that's not beneficial for him any longer. You know what I'm saying? And he want to get rid of it. He's just going to convince society this is the next step. This is what we're going through. This is the transitioning into a new revolution of society. Just like he did. With the gold standard. You know what I'm saying? He moved on. This reinforces the dollar's dominance as global reserve currency. The dollar has no longer backed by gold, but now it has a new lease on life. You could say we went from the gold standard to the black gold standard, which is black gold just mean oil. You know what I'm saying? What is petrodollar recycling? But that's pretty much it for this. But I can post these articles. Um, what's the first one? Let me see. The first year Saudi Arabia broke the deal. 2018 was the first year the Saudi Arabia saw the dollar dead. Well, not that. Yes, the oil. Yeah, so. But I post this. I'm not gonna read all this article. You can read it yourself. I posted it into the description box. But I'm just showing you that the petrodollar being replaced. Yeah, it's gonna be replaced. Digital currency is gonna be the answer. You know, that's what we're getting into. You know, there ain't gonna be no more. Physical currency anymore. They're gonna completely do away with this this whole system, this whole fiat um petrodollar, whatever you want to call it, hardcore physical currency that you can exchange coins for and reserve notes for. This is going to be a thing of the past. You know what I'm saying? And as you can see, that's just how this devil operates. He moves on from things that not beneficial for him any longer. And this is Ecclesiasticus 12:2, which reads, "Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Yeah, and this devil has wicked intent. You can't trust this devil because he has wicked intent. His intent is, to get away from this current money system, inflate the system as he's done before. You know what I'm saying? Causing inflation, causing chaos, cause turmoil. And his solution, he could come with a solution of, hey, you know, we're going to switch over to the digital system because, this is the best suit. And, for your, and so your money that you have in your bank is going to be irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? Whatever hardcore physical currency that you have, you think you're going to do some trading in or you can exchange it in or whatever, he's just going to tell you that shit is no good no more. You know what I'm saying? We're done with that. Your coins, your dollars, we don't want that shit no more. That shit is irrelevant to us. We're on a digital platform now. You can't even use hardcore paper. That's why he making this transition to these digital apps that you can use for payment and things like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the transition to his fourth industrial revolution. But the main goal is to put the chip in you. You know what I'm saying? You got the RFID microchip already in play. He got his, his current staff, Dr. Oz and Elon Musk, who gonna be the forerunners of, push it forth. You know what I'm saying? During Trump's presidency, you're gonna see, this being put into play. Because this is where we are. This is, the time of John Revelator, seeing this coming to pass. You know, this devil, he moving on to the next stage, but it's all ordained by Yahweh Shemashai for it to be so. And this is Revelations 13:6, which reads, "And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in his right hand or in their foreheads, and though and that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast and the number of his name." Yeah, and that's pretty much it, man. This devil, this monetary system is about to change, and it's going to a digital system. You know, that's just, you can see his history. When he's done with one thing, he moves on to the next. Gold standard petrodollar, now it's going to be the RFID microchip digital currency that if you don't have, you won't be able to buy or sell without it. Showing you that this mark of the beast is a physical thing. It's a carnal mark, that this devil has, that he's going to put inside of you to see if you bow down and worship the image of the beast. And for those of our people that do, they're going to be destroyed in the day of the Lord's coming. You know what I'm saying? But this is where we at. We at the end stage of the of prophecy. We're on the brinks of World War III taking place, and we're on the brinks of this devil pushing for his mark, showing you, we're at the end. But we should give all praise to Yahweh Shemashai, that the Lord is about to come back and redeem the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? We're for this place falling. You know what I'm saying? We're not like Moses Jacob want this place to stay in a plain for so-called America. We want to see the end. You know what I'm saying? Because, we understand this place is not our rest. You know what I'm saying? We just want to, get into the kingdom. Lord willing, the Lord, have mercy upon me. All you believers that believe in the 100% truth of Yahweh Shemashai. These brothers out there pushing, this truth on the highways and byways, making your daily epistles or whatnot. Hopefully, we're among the, the people that get beamed up on them, on these spaceships, Lord willing. And that's pretty much it. I hope the lesson to edify. I just want to call Yahweh Shemashai, Kona Shirala, Abba Bar, and Shalom.